guys, so I've got an ambient dub chord here and I want to put raw on there, see if we can add some nice kind of more attitude to the sound, kind of like an analog character and a bunch of movement. So this is your go-to device in Ableton if you really want to do that. Okay, super cool device. So let's drop it on after the delay here. And I'm going to change the routing to serial. And first thing I like to do is just change the filter to pre, so that we can push into the distortion via the filter's resonance, right? So the filter is pre-distortion, right? So I'm going to change it to band pass, and I'm going to go for a digital clip, give it some drive, give it a bit of resonance on the filter here, and let's just find the sweet spot. Right away I'm going to enable the compression circuit, because the sound is getting a lot louder, and the compressor should sort out that, kind of reduce the dynamic range. So I like it round about there, seems to be a nice spot. But I'd like to modulate this filter, right? So I'm going to go into the mod matrix, and you got the envelope here. So what we can do is actually map that to, say, the filter frequency here, right? Just a subtle amount. Yeah, that's really nice. And also, let's modulate the stage 1 amount with, say, LFO1. Oh, sorry, that's the filter frequency. And what about the tone here? So this is like going to emphasize where the distortion's really hitting, if you want it to hit the high range or the low range. And if you hit this thing here, right, it's got a EQ on the other end. So if you boost the high end, on the way out, it'll boost the low end. It's like a compensation EQ. So if we really push it, we'll hear that a bit more clearly. Oh, it could be cool to modulate that. And I'm going to go for LFO1, okay, for this tone parameter. That's pretty cool. So another thing you could do is actually modulate the LFO. So you got this morph parameter, or if we were to map LFO2 to the LFO1 morph, right? Go ahead and do that. Just adds a bit more randomness, right? So let's move on to stage 2, right? And stage 2, I'm going to go for the shards algorithm. And let's give it a bunch of drive. This one I'm going to keep the filter post distortion, okay? So you can hear it's adding a bunch of kind of noise to the signal, right? But there's some really cool filters in raw here. I'm going to go for the comb. Give it a bunch of resonance. And let's modulate this filter with, say, LFO2. Or maybe LFO1. Let's try the noise. The noise is more like a random shape. Yeah, I like that. Let's just reduce the amount of shards here. Alright, cool. We can also mess about with the blend here. So if you just want stage 1 or just stage 2. Leave it about there. And why don't we play around with the mix here? I could map the envelope here to the mix, alright? So when the dub chord hits, we actually reduce the mix, right? So something else we could play around with is the rate of LFO1. Maybe LFO2. Let's unsync LFO2. I'm going to map the envelope to the rate of LFO2, right? So we're getting a ton of interesting movement here. Let's just reduce the level of stage 2. And another thing we can play around with is the feedback circuit. So let's give it some of that. So you get this lovely ambient sound from that. Because we got the compression circuit enabled, we're avoiding any extreme peaks, which could really damage your ears and sound really harsh. So we could have a bit of feedback, but also modulate like the frequency. Let's modulate the frequency with LFO2. Really nice, and we had different modes of feedback, so we could go for note. So these dub chords are in the key of F sharp. I think F sharp is the root key. So we could hit F sharp here. And it's almost like we're adding like an ambient pad to in the background. So you can see this is a very powerful device, guys. I really recommend just experimenting with it. You've also got this pop-up window here, so if you hit this, you've got this whole expanded section so you can see what's going on and make adjustments more quickly. So yeah, let's just do an A-B comparison here. I'll bypass it. Got the raw dub chord. And activate it. It's kind of done a really nice job of just putting in a whole different new space. But yeah, I mean, I could experiment all day with the modulation options and the different distortions. You can also sync the feedback circuit and use it as a delay. But yeah, I highly recommend engaging the compression circuit and just playing around with the feedback a bit. And making your playing with pre-distortion filtering. And definitely playing with the blend and the tone. So yeah, that's it, guys. Got the different filters to play with. Really lovely stuff. I'm going to upload the patch here, the dub chord patch, and the preset to my Patreon for you guys to go check out and have a look at it for yourselves. I've also got a lot of other exclusive content on there. Samples, Ableton live sets and more. So if you're into dub techno and you want to find out more about it, get involved, please head over there. I'll link it right here and down in the comments. Cheers, guys. See you next time.